So CSK had another like almost successful season, you could say. I think it's a very normal thing for CSK to finish in the final or either win or just qualify for the playoffs. It's a given that Chennai is always going to qualify for the playoffs. They've already made the finals, I think, 8 times out of 10, and they've qualified for the playoffs all the 10 seasons that they've played.
Yeah.
So last year they qualified, they played in the finals for the second consecutive season after winning the IPL the previous season. And they had a great season. Everyone was kind of uh, taken aback at first with the aging squad uh, comment, but they played really well. So that was last season. What do you think is going to be Chennai season like moving forward into this new season, brand new season?
So when when CSK was there continuously in the first 8 seasons, I think around the fifth or sixth season there was a joke circulating that what is IPL? It's a tournament where every the 7 teams compete to play CSK in the
CSK
final.
in the final.
So yeah, so that it was a given that they and the secret of their success has been their continuity. So even though most of the teams try to keep their fulcrum or 2 3 players constant, but CSK often use a right to match or retaining power and sort of have their not just score but as many as possible. So this season where I see them is again anything less than a top four finish would be sort of non CSK thing. But I won't be too surprised if they missed out this time, given what has happened around the IPL itself, uh, what has happened with the senior players like MS, who hasn't played from the World Cup semi-final, and largely people have been out of action, and more so CSK because like you introduced them, the aging squad. So
Yeah.
age and non-practice doesn't go hand in, and more so that because of the COVID positive reason, they already began training a week or so later than the other sides.
Yeah.
Right.
So all these factors could end up could mean that CSK might not finish in the top four, but
Right.
I never stopped supporting them. So I still expect them to finish in the top four at least.
Right.
Even as you're saying this, the confidence that's there in your voice, I feel like no CSK fan doubts
Yeah.
this. I feel like it's just a given. You're just saying it for the sake of saying it, but at the back of your mind, you're like, "Huh, pata hai, CSK playoffs. We'll meet all the other three teams, whoever has to come." That's I think a CSK staple going into every IPL season.
And I think that's one common thing between. So, like we were speaking off the record that you have to be neutral when you're covering games and stuff like that. This one thing is a constant, whether you are a neutral or you are a supporter, that you back CSK 9 out of
Yeah.
10 times.
Definitely.
So you ask a neutral guy what you think about CSK, even he or she will be like, top four to bhai pakka hai.
See, I'm an RCB fan, and for me to say this, since we have such a big rivalry, so I think that says all that has to be said. That CSK is just a classic team, one of those teams that you're gonna back. Yeah, 9 out of 10, I think, is the perfect math to do in this situation.
Your statement that said even I as an RCB fan itself is an irony. So if Arhan had told that if even I as an MI fan say so, it was still acceptable, but not you, because as RCB you actually have to look at teams who actually qualify for the top four. You
Yeah,
people
yeah,
haven't
definitely.
done that.
To
As
say,
Mumbai fan,
hmm,
all right, it's just strong rivalry. All right, it's there. It's like you know, I it's
yeah, yeah,
passion. It's
yeah,
proper.
yeah, yeah.
Like Mumbai CSK is the El
It's a
Clasico of IPL.
derby, dude. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, matlab, it's huge. The
Yeah,
expectations are huge. The
yeah.
crowd goes mad. It's just like on a different scale. They've met in the final like so many times.
Yeah.
All right. Mumbai has won some matches. Chennai has won, I think, one match in the final. Oh, that's a good record to have for Mumbai, by the way. Mumbai has won more finals against Chennai. Uh, but on the other hand, I feel Chennai has been more consistent in terms of qualifying for the playoffs.
Definitely.
Mumbai is more like if we qualify for the playoffs, we'll win the tournament also.
Yeah.
It's उनका
It's
ऐसा है
you go the whole
जाएंगे तो full
journey.
force में
हाँ,
yeah
मतलब आधा आधा
जाएंगे
नहीं करेंगे. Yeah.
हाँ जाएंगे तो full force में, हारेंगे तो full force में,
Yeah,
मतलब
yeah,
उनका there's no in between as such.
yeah, yeah.
I think yes, in terms of consistency, Chennai has been the most consistent team ever in the history of the tournament. They've played 10 seasons and they've qualified for the playoffs 10 times out of 10.
Hmm.
100% record, unbeatable record. Very, very much unbelievable also. But I think a lot of credit has to be given to, as Sudarshan mentioned before, the core team.
Yes.
They've always managed to keep the core team intact and they've picked the right players again and again. Like Faf du Plessis came back. There was Shane Watson, who they've stuck with
Watson,
for a
yeah.
long time now. There's Ravindra Jadeja, MS Dhoni, Suresh Raina.
Rana.
Also, like getting back to this important,
Yes.
important
I'm glad we're
thing.
going to talk about this.
Suresh Raina and Harbhajan Singh have pulled out due to personal reasons. How do you think that's going to affect CSK season?
Harbhajan Singh's impact, I feel at this point could be lesser because one, he was. It's just from 2018 that Harbhajan has been a part. So and I think CSK have enough spin strength to sort of just
Forgo
replace
Harbhajan's
or
Yeah, Harbhajan
impact.
almost like they
yeah,
have like
yeah.
enough options.
That's
Yeah.
sort
The big
yeah,
one is
but the
Rana.
stature that Raina has in the IPL itself, let alone CSK. Even for Gujarat Lions, the 2 seasons that he played, he scored what 400 plus runs. I think he's the only one who's scored 400 at least in every season of the IPL. So these factors, if you consider that's a bigger blow for CSK.
Yeah.
But having said that, that gives an opportunity for someone else to take that number three spot. So Ruturaj Gaikwad has been built to sort of take that position, and I think we'll get down to the combinations at some point. But I think Raina's absence could be a bigger factor than Harbhajan Singh's absence for CSK.
I feel like Rana embodies the whole CSK spirit of sorts. Because if you look at the consistency that both of them have managed over the past 10 years or so, in like reaching the playoffs and Rana performing year after year, regardless of his, form in India or, for his country, that is definitely going to like. Do you think that's going to like hamper the team environment of sorts? Do you think the energy is now a little shifted and it'll be a little more harder to concentrate?
Not really, because as as uh, as a squad, as a unit, CSK is sort of well gelled unit. So yes, the energy that Raina brings on to the table would be missed, but I think they are sort of well knit to the extent that they can make do without him. But where I think so, had they missed just Raina and not Harbhajan, or just Harbhajan and not Raina, they still would have had an off spinner. Now there's just Kedar Jadhav to rely on, and off late we've seen even in the last season he didn't bowl too much. So that's one factor, one point where CSK would miss Harbhajan as well, because both their sort of players who bowl off spin, who bowl at least two. So Harbhajan bowled most of the time 4 overs, but Raina could give you easily 1-2 overs per game.
Yeah.
That both of them have been taken away. So that's the point I'd like to see where they sort of get the off spinning resource from. There was Deep Das Gupta who was talking to Cricket for the last week or somewhere, and he mentioned Jalaj Saxena. So that's an interesting name in the equation, because poor Jalaj, he's been doing all the hard yards in domestic cricket, red ball cricket. He's sort of a successful off spinner as well as a successful batter. So he could be sort of the Ashwin of the starting years, where he used to contribute. Ashwin used to contribute with the ball as well as the bat.
Yeah.
So I think Jalaj Saxena is an interesting name if CSK are looking for an off spinner. But otherwise, where CSK would miss in terms of on-field quality is the bowling aspect, the off-spinning aspect, because they have leg spinners, they have left-arm spinners, but no off-spinner.
Right. So cool. Considering that we're talking about combinations and predicted lineups and the squad, I think we should move on to the next segment. It's the ball game segment. Basically, I've been working on this review of preview of squads before the IPL kicks off, and I've done this for every team. So it's still in the drafts right now. I still have to publish this because I'm left with I think one team to go. This is basically my review of Team Chennai. Uh, let's have a look at the squad first, from the coaching staff to the players and everyone. So batsmen, Murli Vijay, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Ambati Raidu, Faf du Plessis. No surprise there. I think it's a
Solid.
good
Looks like
combination.
a solid combination
Yeah,
that is going to
solid
work for
IPL
them.
veterans. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Definitely.
All the thing that impresses me most about CSK always is their all rounders.
Yes.
Like all of them can bat, all
Mm.
of them can bowl. There is no such thing as bowling all rounder or a batting all
Yeah.
rounder in this team. Apart from if you leave Kedar Jadhav aside, right now. But at some point he was a
Yeah.
solid all rounder. But right now, because of his injuries and everything, he's become like a little low on that side.
Hmm.
So I mean, you look at
But
DJ
I
Bravo.
think that has to do with sort of Dhoni's pet peeve when he was the Indian captain. He was
Right, yeah,
always lamenting a lack of a proper all-rounder. He tried it
yeah,
with Irfan Pathan. There was Jai Prakash Yadav, I think, around the
yeah.
time when
Yeah.
Dhoni was at the helm. So he always badly wanted, if I may add, all-rounder, proper one both. And this squad has sort of
Lot
just
of them.
that.
Yeah.
Too many.
Dhoni's signature there. Yeah.
By the time I think Dhoni was relieved of his by the time he resigned from his captaincy duties from India,
India.
he had Hardik Pandya, I think. So I think that one player
Yeah.
that he was looking for all this while,
He
it
came
was
at the
right.
point, yeah, when he
Yeah,
had decided to leave.
yeah. Right player,
And I
wrong
think
time kind of
Yeah.
attitude.
he was so desperate. I think I think they tried Rishi Dhawan, a
Yeah,
guy who could bowl as well as bat. He wanted a seam bowling all rounder badly.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he
Stuart Binney
he
was
played.
also like tried for a lot of
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stuart Binney was a face. Stuart Binney has disappeared. Like, where is he right now? Where is he?
Plays
He's not
for
seeing in
plays for
Rajasthan.
Nagaland last.
Oh wow,
Nagaland. Wow. Wow.
wow,
He has spread out.
rare. Yeah, he's exploring his options. Wicket keeping of अभी wicket keeping बोलने की भी जरूरत नहीं है.
Yeah.
धोनी
We all know it.
just
It's
threw everything.
obvious. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just move on
Sorry,
to.
Jagadisan.
Yeah.
All due respect to you, but MS Dhoni.
We'll move on to
Like बड़े
bowlers.
बड़े
That's what
बड़े
I
बड़े
think.
शांत हो गए.
I think
Dinesh
there I
Karthik.
could. I can say N Jagadisan, if he can play as a batter, like we were
Yeah.
talking about a lack of number three. If
Yeah.
Raidu moves down to number three, N Jagadisan can open, or if Raidu wants to open, then Narayan Jagadisan can play at three, because the last TNPL, Jagadisan was the leading run scorer and he keeps wickets for the Indical Dragons. So that aside, he can play as a pure batter as well. And I think, again, the familiarity factor could play a part, because Jagadisan has been with CSK for the last, I think,
Right.
2-3 years.
Hmm.
So that could be a factor. That could be some thought given to it.
An interesting option, I think, for Dhoni to like think about, to
Yeah.
sit and figure out what will work, since Raina's out of the equation.
Hmm.
Let's look at the bowlers. Imran Tahir, Karan Sharma, Nigidi. I've still not learned how to Ngidi.
Ngidi.
Deepak Chahar, KM Asif, Josh Hazelwood, good signing, Josh Hazelwood.
Yeah.
Shardul Thakur, reliable. He was there last year. He did a pretty commendable job.
That's
Sai
an
Kishore and
interesting adjective. Shardul
Yeah.
Thakur and reliable. Very interesting.
I mean, somewhere he was reliable. Some games you could say.
Piyush Chawla. Nice.
Piyush
They have
Chawla.
a veteran spinning option as well, apart from Harbhajan. So
Have I missed out? No, I haven't. I thought I missed out on Deepak Chahar for some reason, but he's there.
yeah, Deepak Chahar is there.
But coach, let's look at the coach, Stephen Fleming. Like, he's been there throughout. I think that's one factor why CSK has managed to qualify for the playoffs. You look at RCB, there's a lot of fluctuation.
Yeah.
Every season there's a new coach coming in.
The management
They have a lot of problems
stable
dealing
at
with
all. Yeah.
I
playing
think that
11
has
possible.
been one of the success factors, the coach-captain combo. So when CSK was out for a couple of seasons, our Pune Supergiant also had the same combination, Dhoni and Fleming.
Stephen Fleming.
Although they changed Dhoni, Stephen Smith became the captain for the second season, but largely the combination is what has worked for them, Stephen Fleming and MS Dhoni. That's good to see.
Yeah. So playing 11 possibilities. So how I looked at the squad was, if they really want a solid replacement for Raina at number 3 as a batsman. I thought that if Watson and Raidu could open, and someone like Fab du Plessis could come in at number 3, that would be a solid option. Not a left hand, not exactly. He doesn't have the same characteristics as Raina, but he's a very good option. He's proven himself before at the top of the order for Chennai at least in T20 format, and I mean he could be a good solid backup. But considering the fact that there are only 4 foreign players that can be played in the squad, there might be some changes depending on the match situation.
Hmm.
Because in that case, they'll have to see Dwayne Bravo and Shane Watson look like certified starters.
Starting. Yeah.
Like they're just going to start. There's no contest there. Maybe Shane Watson could be rested or dropped if he doesn't
Rotated. Yeah.
perform, rotated somewhere. But I think Dwayne Bravo is always going to be there. The thing that comes in is who are the other 3 players. Right now, let's go with Shane Watson. I think he is a good option to
Hmm.
go with. Very much reliable. Also, in terms of bowling, also he can be a good
Yeah.
option. So Shane Watson, Raidu, number 3, Duplessis, number 4, we have Kedar Jadhav,
Hmm.
who can play the number 4 spot really well. There's Dhoni at 5, Dwayne Bravo at 6, Jadeja 7. You look at number 8. Now again, like the bowling part, who to select between Tahir, uh, Ngidi, and Hazelwood. Tough choices. I think Ngidi looks like a good option in terms of an additional fielder
Yeah.
and a good bowler at the death.
Hmm.
Something that CSK will need, considering that if Dwayne Bravo fails or if Deepak Chahar fails. So in that case, to have a third option as a backup will be really good. But I think he'll lead the attack more or less. And I think the last 2 spots, Deepak Chahar and Sadul Thakur look more likely to occupy those 2 spots, with Karan Sharma occupying Imran Tahir's spot as the leg spinner.
Hmm.
So this is what I feel that they could go with. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the predicted lineups? We'll have a look at the squad again for your reference.
So I think what your 11 was sort of, that's what they largely stick to. But of late, whenever CSK have had Duplessis in the lineup, he's opened the batting.
Right.
So even if you look back at 2018, when Ambati Rayudu had a season that he did, whenever towards the playoff or whenever Duplessis walked in, Rayudu shifted down the
That
order.
was shifted.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but and in that season there was Raina, so the number 3 spot was never changed. But
Yeah.
in this time, I think this time that could be a factor that if Duplessis comes in and he would probably prefer opening, Raidu might drop down to 3 just because Raidu is a good player against spin and pace alike. So if he
Yeah.
walks in at say in the around the 8th, 9th over when there is a spinner in operation, I think Raidu could be better equipped to sort of get going quicker than a Duplessis who's
Right.
not. He's a good
That
player
good
against
against spin.
spin,
Yeah.
no doubt. Yeah, but he isn't a fast starter against spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Duplessis will open in my 11. Raidu might shift down the order, but again, if CSK choose to gamble and play a Murli Vijay, depending on how he goes, he looks in the nets,
Hmm.
then probably Duplessis might shift down the order. But my the 4 overseas that I'd have would be Bravo, Watson, as you said. Duplessis if he plays, yes. But the 4th overseas could be condition based because your
Yeah.
tracks in UAE are gonna be spinner friendly purely because of the heat factor. Because of the heat, there'll be more wear and tear and sort of spinners advantage. So in that case, Tahir is a must. So these are my 3 overseas players for sure. The 4th could be, as I said, if a Mitchell Santner can come in because again he can give you spin as well as batting,
Yeah.
or that's one of the options that I have. Or if they want a seamer, there's Sam Curran as well, and as Arhan said, Lungi and Giri. So these Josh Hazelwood probably might not be an immediate starter as I see it, because
Hmm.
purely because he's still an unknown commodity when it comes to T20. But
Yeah.
having said that, that very point could sort of go against me because he's an unknown commodity.
He might
CSK would
Might.
work.
like to
Yeah.
throw him. Yeah, yeah.
Knowing
Yeah.
Dhoni,
Yeah.
he's quite capable of
This could be the perfect
deploying,
test move, I
surprise
think.
elements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
True,
but like
and the
looking
way
at
he has
the, tell us.
and looking at the impact that he had in the final T20 against England,
Right.
he sort of was very disciplined, very economical, and if you purely look at results, Australia won that match. So looking at all these factors, that could probably mean Hazelwood could be a starter if it's a seamer friendly wicket or seam friendly
Hmm.
condition.
Right. Rishabh, what do you think? What do you make of the predictions,
The
predicted
one thing
lineup?
that stands out in this team is I feel the options that they have with the ball. They have so many different players, all these all rounders. They already have a set, spinning. Like they have a Imran Tahir, for example. They have like a Deepak Chahar, some Indian quality. You could get in someone like who they have. Again, NGD. So they're bowling options. Then even all round, like Jadeja, if Santner comes in, if Curran comes in, their whole team is just so stacked with the ball that if something isn't working out on some pitch with some bowler, they have someone else to hand the ball to. It's not just.
Right.
I feel like again, if we get RCB into this equation, they just have five set people who they know are going to play, who are going to bowl, and if it doesn't work out, they're just going to stick with them. I think the number of options that Chennai has opened up, the avenues that they have, it's a very good headache to have. I think for MS Dhoni, I think he sleeps very peacefully at night knowing that I have so many options with me and I don't have to worry about anything in that regard at least.
Right.
And one of
Definitely.
the things that I'm eager to watch is how they treat KM Asif, because I think I remember he played one or two matches last season and he was sort of taken to the cleaners. But the talk around that game was Dhoni's preference to KM Asif. So KM Asif is a tear away quick. His mentor is Biju George, who is a former fielding coach of India women's side. So
Right.
I've had interactions with him, and he was sort of over the moon when KM Asif was selected, and he regards KM Asif very highly purely because of the pace. Like, despite all the bowling riches that India now has, a tear away quick is still something that you sort of drool looking at. So KM Asif is that, and looking at his story that he was in the UAE working and then came back. He was sort of a sole breadwinner and stuff like that. These are background stories that you sort of love watching, love knowing. But what he does on the field is sort of 100% commitment, and the pace
Right.
that he has shows just that. So that is one thing that I love to see, because Dhoni has two mainstream bowlers in Shardul Thakur and Deepak Chahar.
Hmm.
So when and how he plays KM Asif is something that I'd love to watch.
Definitely. So how do you what do you make of the rankings? Where do you think CSK is going to rank at the end of the season? Like before the playoffs at least.
Uh, Aim would be to have a top two finish, because that would mean that they get a second shot at making the
Yeah.
final. But as I said, top four is something I back them to be at.
Okay. Rishabh?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Sudarshan is saying. I think top four is the most realistic expectation that you can hold from CSK. Top two is also possible with them. It's a very easy thing, I think, at this point for them with the team that they have with Dhoni at the helm. Yeah, I think top four is realistic. I'm sure they're going to make it to the playoffs.
So basically, I've reviewed like almost all teams. CSK was definitely supposed to be my number one. The only reason they got pushed down to number two instead of number one was because Raina. Like he's so important to their lineup and their setup. So I feel that they will certainly miss him somewhere, and they'll have tough competition from the likes of KKR and Delhi in that regards for the number two position. Number one, I think we all know with the squad Mumbai has and with the players they have this season, it's more or less like going to be the same story as usual, where Mumbai and CSK finish 1 or 2, and they play in the finals again. But that's too far to think of. Right now, let's think of the positions before the playoffs begin. So in that regards, I feel like I've rated them at 8 out of 10. If Raina would have been there, maybe 8.5. And ball game ranking, of course, I think second is justified considering the kind of seasons they have had before.
Yeah.
CSK again from 2018, 2019 have been sort of the dad's army and doing well. And then there are these two players that in the recently concluded Caribbean Premier League, there was this Praveen Tambe, who's close to 49 years old, and he's doing all sort of jumping and catching and whatnot. And there's this Darren Stevens, who's a 44-year-old who's doing well in the Bob Willis Trophy for Kent. So looking at all these patterns, I still feel that CSK, with all the age talk around them, would still be strong contenders to finish in the top four, and who knows, lift the trophy.
I think so many of them have played cricket for over 10, 12, 15, 20 years now, probably. Like these players know where to spend their energy, how to spend their energy, and where to use the right skill.
Yeah.
The experience comes into the picture because these players are as good as pundits or
Yeah.
analysts or like commentators.
Hmm.
So if you look at him, look at that in that regards, Sachin Tendulkar, if he comes to play now with like some fitness, some sort of fitness, he will obviously find a way to face the best bowlers right
Yeah.
now. Face someone like Jasprit Bumrah or probably uh, Andre Russell or someone. All these players. Zahir Khan, if he's in the shape of his life, and
Yeah.
if he starts bowling to someone like Andre Russell, I think his knuckle balls are going to be so much better and accurate.
This segment is called Super Over. We have 3 questions for you, and we'll just get right into it. So the first question is, what is the one unpopular opinion you have of your own team, or if you have some criticism that you have, something that maybe not other CSK fans agree with you, and you think that way? Do you have something like that for us?
So I don't know if it's unpopular or even if it's just an observation that CSK as a team never focuses on sort of. So if you look at a perfect example for me, for in this case, would be Rajasthan Royals. So even from the very first season of the IPL, if you look at them, they were sort of from dust to gold side of a team. You don't know who's playing for Rajasthan Royals, and then one fine day you wake up and see they are the champions. So Rajasthan Royals sort of, they pride themselves on making players out of sort of nobody. But look at CSK, you sort of don't, and that's pure Dhoni stamp in it, where he's like, if these set of players win me matches, I'm gonna stick to them no matter what. And it's so much so that even at times the conditions even don't uh, end up sort of making, so even conditions don't force him to make a change. So Dhoni has this policy that if players win him games, irrespective of what's happening on the outside, these are my players who will play for me. So what happens is, so Monu Kumar, for example, he's been around for last 3 seasons at least with CSK. How many games has he played? There was Baba Aparajit, who's sort of wonderful player
featured.
for
Yeah.
Tamil Nadu. Yeah, he's the only time you might have seen him in CSK colors is playing as a fielding as a substitute. That too, I can sort of only recall 2 or 3 times the number 5 on his jersey. So these are players who's been around CSK, but they haven't got much of a game time. This is one thing even now Ravi Srinivasan, Sai Kishore, he's been picked up after what 2 or 3 seasons. Sai Kishore was the net bowler for CSK, and finally he's been picked up in the auction. So whether he'll get a game this season immediately is left to be seen. But this is one thing that with CSK, that you play IPL to win, and it's not. Yes, your exposure will be sort of by being with and around the players, but not necessarily getting an opportunity to play. That's one observation that I have with CSK.
Cool. Fair point.
So the next thing is where we want you to roast one team or multiple teams that you can. Any team, any IPL team that you can roast. And it could be anything. You just make a comment about them, pass a comment about them, trigger the other side of the fans.
See, I'll give you a hint. RCB fans you have too much content to go
So
with.
even though
So you can go for that if you feel like it.
This Rajasthan Royals, no one supports them.
this entire thing is like you hand over a ball to MS Dhoni and say, go run and bowl at 140 plus K, which sort of he can't. But I'll give a try at roasting. Maybe Mumbai Indians is sort of the only team probably who has a better win-loss ratio against CSK. Yeah, and yet I call all the Mumbai Indians fan and even Mumbai Indians to sort of make it 2-0 this season. That's sort of that's my version of challenge to MI fans.
Cool. Okay, we'll move on to the last question now. And this is an interesting one. So there's so many international cricketers who take part, even national cricketers who take part in IPL. And they are also, I'm sure that you have your favorites who don't play for CSK, who play for these other teams, but you still like the way that they play. Which one player from the remaining 7 IPL teams would you look to integrate into this CSK squad, or would you want to wear the yellow jersey and walk out with Dhoni? Who's that one player that comes to mind?
Ben Stokes, clearly. I mean, I remember the a bit of dejection that I had when when the auctions took place before the 2018 IPL, when you sort of had a chance to have him anywhere because those players were sort of to be taken. But Rajasthan ended up taking him. So that was sort of one chance to have a big player with the CSK side, but couldn't. So I think the biggest high profile player to have played for CSK, I mean, the big billing kind of a guy has been Andrew Flintoff. Can't remember or can't recall anybody else who's sort of been in demand everywhere, but has landed up in CSK's pocket. And year after year in auctions, my dejection is with the bowling attack. All the big names of when it comes to bowling, someone else takes it, and CSK's owners table, if you see, they are saying, अच्छा ये उधर है, ओ अच्छा ये इधर है, हमारे पास कौन है, शार्दुल ठाकुर, अशोक डिंडा, ईश्वर पांडे, अरे भाई रन खाना है कि विकेट्स लेना है,
Piyush Chawla.
Piyush Chawla as well.
Like sometimes you feel Dhoni is living in 2011, where he's getting all the players that he once used to have just for the fun of it. मतलब इनको लेके मजे
It'll be a good throwback if next year they just get
Yeah.
Joginder Sharma and they're like, इसको खिलाएंगे अब.